This is your Mobile Hunter Hack of the Day. Hey guys, Brian Rogers here with Good Sit Productions. Out here enjoying this beautiful May afternoon. Couldn't get any nicer, I don't think. It's in the mid-70s and sunny and no wind, so it's a heck of a day to be out here. I'm out here testing out some sticks and everything, and I thought I'd do a quick what's in my bag. So real quick here, I run an H2 saddle with the Triad bridge, the 8mm Sterling Oplex tether with the Beal Jammy Prusik. I run a paracord Prusik, and I actually modded that myself with the, I ran some zip ties over it, and that way I don't have a whole lot of noise, that smacking against a carabiner or something like that. I just wanted to keep the noise minimal, but it works pretty well for a tender. This is how I transport. So I take, and you'll see here, I keep another even more heavy-duty Petzl Triact auto-locking carabiner with the captive lock system. I keep that. This one has actually a 3,800-pound locking gate, self-locking gate, which is extremely heavy-duty. And the reason I have the more heavy-duty one down here is because this is my safety, my secondary one. Just in case of a fall, I attach my tether here when I'm tethered in. So when I'm transporting, I actually take and run my main carabiner through my lineman's loop, and I run this over my shoulder here and back, and then back over here to this guy. Okay? Now, all I got to do to loosen that tension up is pull that. So I just give her a yank, nice and tight, helps to keep that up. Then you have one of two options here. You can run this back around to this carabiner, but actually what I like doing is running it around to this carabiner right here, because it's in front of you and you can see it easier. This is still out of your way if you were on your way to your tree stand and you had to make a shot. This isn't going to get in the way. This provides a lot of support for your saddle. If you got a lot of things in your pouch like I do, it starts to get heavy and sagging down. You got to keep pulling it up. Seems like you can never get this belt tight enough. So I run this over there when I'm over my shoulder when I'm walking in, and it helps to support it. So, all right, let's move on to what's in the bag here. Another thing I like to do, actually, and usually I do it before I put my tether on, is I got this, is the water bottles and that hook up to your Molly. When you have them full, they are just too heavy. They weigh you down, and so what I did is went out and got this at Walmart. It's actually for running or bicycling, but keeps it at an angle. It actually traps your water bottle in there so it can't come out, and it gives you a little extra storage too. I like to keep my Vortex monocular in there, but you can keep a lot of other things. It actually even has a little lanyard in there that I usually attach my monocular to. That way, if I ever want to just leave it hanging there, if something's coming in while I'm looking, I can. Otherwise, I can just keep it hanging out right there. Okay? I'll show you guys here. When I'm climbing, I actually like to, when I'm walking, so I can reach, so I can. All right. So when I'm walking, I like to be able to get a drink whenever I want. So I keep it up here, right there, and that's not weighing down my saddle. It just got just the weight of the water bottle right there. Now, when I get to my spot, all right. So you bring this down. Now it loosens up just a hair. Bring that off of there. There you go. So now that's going on the tree. once that's on the tree, you switch that behind you. So now that's not hindering your movement or anything. And actually, once you get up to height, you can just leave it on your back and just leave it there. And anytime you need a drink, you can just bring her around or leave it at an angle to where you can always reach it over here on the right. And it never hinders your ability to hunt. All right, on the right side here, I keep a very cheap little coin pouch. It's got my milkweed in it. Haven't thrown some milkweed in a while. That was kind of fun. My daughter loves throwing milkweed around the house. We have it all year round. So it's attached with a silicone zip tie. You'll see me use these a lot on my hunting things. They're very quiet. They hold well. They're not going to be anything that's going to be super weight bearing, but anything you need to just dangle is pretty good for it, or anything you need to keep tight without putting too much pressure on it works pretty well. Next, you have my Eastern Wood fleece dump pouch. I just got this year, so I can't really talk about how well it works, but so far so good. The only thing I am concerned about is the beggar's lice. When I walk through the thick stuff, I have a feeling that this is going to pick it up. So I am eyeing some neoprene ones, but for now, these work good and are very quiet. Now what I keep in this side is grunt tube, tethered back band here, and my gear hook, my bow and gear hook, and I'll show you guys how that works here in a second. You keep going around. This is my bow rope. I just pull this out, drop it, and I'm ready to hunt. I actually have that girth hitched to another one, and I have this attached to the molly to hold it. As you can see there, it's not going anywhere. Now, this hook right here, when I'm one sticking, I attach the safety paracord just in case I drop my stick. I'm still attached. The stick is still attached to me, and it would dangle from that right there. On the left side, now it's not always legal to use screw-in bow hangers or gear hangers, but I always keep one with me just in case I'm ever at a place where I can use it, because it is very, very handy. Once I get up to hunting height, to just put this in quickly and I can hang something off of it. I keep that attached with a silicone zip tie as well. I always keep a spare carabiner just in case, and I took the one piece off of this just in case for whatever reason my gear hook dropped, my bow hook dropped. I can just put this on and come to the rescue. If I have something extra that I'm not thinking about, I've got something to hold it. So let's see what's in here. I always keep an extra daisy chain on me. That has two uses. Well, actually three. That can be used as an extra aider. If for whatever reason you needed it on that first step and you wanted to get a little bit higher, you can use it as a second aider on your stick. It also will double as if you use it with the cam jam, or even if you just want to tie it to itself like a tether, you can hang your bow and hooks and stuff like that on there, and it can become a second gear rope. And thirdly, another great use for it is if you come to a tree that's too big for your strap or your daisy chain, you just add that to it, and usually the base of the tree is the biggest, so you add that to it and tie it to it and then wrap it around, and that doubles the length of your rope and the tree that you can get around. Lastly, again, you want to check and make sure if it's legal or not. I don't always carry this. If I'm going on public, I can't use this. I'll carry more paracord and tie stuff back. But a good saw is hard to beat if you can use them. And lastly, my $4 foam rubber pads, my knee pads. I replaced the strap with, Velcro strap with these plastic camping straps that I found in the camping section for a couple bucks. They get really tight, they work really well, and they're actually a lot more comfortable than any of the other ones. So I highly suggest dropping the $4 on those. So the brand is Fiskars. Oh, and on my hoist rope and my safety rope on my one stick, if you can find it, I found mine at Menards. This paracord has the reflective material woven into it, and it's all up and down it. So it's still black, it doesn't stick right out, but when you are climbing up and down in the dark, you'll always know where your rope is when you're pulling your bow up. That way, if for whatever reason it gets tangled or it gets wrapped around something, you can always see where it's at. Hey guys, if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Thanks.